you can go ahead now.
Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to the Executive Cabinet Member meeting for Children's Services. The first item on the agenda is monitoring of Executive Cabinet Member decisions. You've had an enclosure. Can we note this, please? Thanks very much. The second item is Children's Services Financial Monitoring Report. And this is going to be handled by...
Lynn Hargreaves. Lynn Hargreaves is here. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Over to you, Lynn. Thank you.
Good morning. So the report is showing the revenue position for the children's services to be projected at year end to be 13.1 million over budget. And at the moment, there's insufficient reserves to cover this overspend. So we'll be requiring corporate funds to help out with that. The dedicated school grant is showing 6.09 million more than the grant. The report then gives details of the capital and reserve movements. Table 2.1 is showing changes in the budget from the start of the year to date, and the same for the dedicated schools grant. In this report, we're recognising under the strategic redirection budgets, which are the savings for the financial year, 300k, which is for the review of early help. Table 2.3 shows the overspend positions and the reasons why, it gives a full breakdown. Then we have the tables that show the capital programmes and the reserves. And so then this report is just asking that the recommendations are that you note the revenue budget changes in 24-25, note the financial projections of the portfolio of 30 to the 31st of March, showing an overspend of 13.103. Agree that the Director of Children's Services has delegated authority to procure off-contract agency for social care staff. Notes the projected savings for 24-25 and then notes the details of the capital programme, and agree that the Director of Children's Services has delegated authority to call off the frameworks for the capital programme as detailed in section 3. I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much for that. Members, any comments, questions or queries?
Yes, Councillor Galloway's got a hand up, Councillor Donaghy.
Okay, Councillor Galloway.
Thank you, Chair. It's to really highlight the £13 million overspend. There's a real kind of increase in the number of looked after children. You know, we're over 600 now. And that is where the overspend will be. And I looked at a year ago, and it was an 8 million. I think at the end of the first quarter, it was an 8 million pound overspend. And of course, as we know, it went, you know, way above that. I can't remember now. I think it was about 13 million, maybe. So I imagine this 13 million, it's only going to go up. I can't really see circumstances changing. So it's really good. It is a really major issue, this overspend in this staying safe division.
I mean, we are hoping. Sorry,
Lynn, if I can respond on this.
Okay.
We are doing a lot of work around that demand management side of things, Councillor Galloway, and you're right, a lot of this is in the staying safe area. So the table in the report details that 11 million of that is in the staying safe area, but there are a lot of other demand pressures in other areas as well. I think our big challenge is around the market position with some of this, as we use external providers for children's social care, which we continue to need to do, and they uplift their costs. So it's those costs that are reflecting back on us. So I appreciate, yes, the numbers have gone up and we are looking at that, but the big thing isn't about the numbers, it's about the cost of the external placements that's driving our budget position at the moment.
Okay.
No, thank you. I take that on board. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Galloway. Members, any other questions or
I think
queries?
Councillor Crosley's got a hand up as well.
Can you hear
Okay,
me?
Councillor Crossley.
Yes, Councillor Crosley, yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Just really to highlight, I'm a foster carer. I've been fostering for 13 years. 2 weeks ago, we had a baby, 6 months old. We were on emergency placement, a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old, and we were the only ones in Bolton on emergency. It was a little bit worrying, but we did it. But I just wanted to highlight that, there is a problem, isn't there?
If I can come back on that again, Councillor Crossley, and Nikki might want to come in here as well in a minute. One of our big challenges has been around recruiting foster carers and keeping a real large number of foster carers in Bolton. And so thank you for all the work you do on there, because our foster carers do an amazing job for looking after our children. We continue to try and get recruitment campaigns working. It is a national challenge that people don't want to go into fostering as much as they used to. So we are, as part of our demand strategy, we are looking at what we can do to incentivise people and get them, encourage them to come in and help us out with fostering. So there's a number of projects and programmes that we're running in that area, and we're also now linking in with Greater Manchester to try and do things more across the Greater Manchester region to get us more foster carers. But it is a challenge. Going back to what I was saying before about money, if we were in a position where we could have more foster carers and could use them more, it would reduce the need for us to spend more money on external placements. So again, fostering is going to be key to us in terms of helping manage demand. Nikki, I don't know whether you want to say anything else there.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I agree with what you've said. And I think the other issue that we're trying to work really hard on is the retention of the foster carers that we have got. So I think there's the recruitment side, and then there's something about us being really flexible and creative with how we support the carers that we've got so that we can retain them as well.
Okay. Any further comments or questions?
No, nobody's indicating, Councillor Donegal. So if you just note and approve that report, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay, I note the report and approve the recommendations as laid out on the first page of the report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then item 3 is further future provision, of school improvement, and there is an inclusion. I believe Christian's going to take this. Christian.
That's correct, Councillor Donegal. Thank you very much for having me here this morning. So this is regarding the contract around school improvement. This has been delivered by a DPS. It's vital towards Bolton Council meeting its statutory responsibilities around school excellence. However, the reason why we're bringing this report is the DPS is reaching its end, and we still need these services. However, as the contract has come to an end, we've decided to go down a different route, which we think will help and still manage to meet what we want. There are 3 options outlined in the report. Option 1 is to decommission the DPS and allow the current arrangements to expire in October 2024 and generate a legally binding agreement between providers and the authority on an ad hoc basis. This would allow for the flexibility of allocation to providers and include a core specification of school improvement. And just to note as well, of course, this is just related to the primary school improvement, and the cost and spend for this in 2023 was 78,055 across 2 providers. The reason I mention this is because the total value of the work is under the threshold set out in the PCR. That means the council has a flexibility to work with providers it considers most suitable and considering the best value duties to the council. So really the request is just to note the recommendations to allow this DPS to expire and to grant permission for the generation of a legally binding agreement to procure the required school improvement work on an ad hoc basis in the future, delegate to the Assistant Director of Inclusion, Education and Learning to implement the legally binding agreement when the need arises within the borough, and authorise the borough solicitor to carry out any necessary legal formalities. I don't know if there are any questions from members.
Have members any comments or questions, please?
Councillor Galloway's got a hand up, Councillor Donegal.
Thank you. Councillor Galloway.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Christian. Can I ask how popular is the take-up of our school improvement service? Is it increasing in popularity or decreasing? Just wanted to know how it was doing. Thank you.
I'm happy to respond to that, Councillor Galloway, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Shall I continue, Susan, and respond?
No, absolutely not. No, not yet. Not without the
Yes.
exec member here. He's here.
Yes, I'm in the
He's
meeting
here.
now.
Yeah,
I'm back.
I thought you were coming in. I could see your little face
I'm
at
back.
the bottom. I thought
I've been. I think it's this wind and rain this morning. My signal. I wasn't getting a good signal from the BBC. I think there's something. It's not working. So
Right.
anyway, I'm okay. I'm tuned in now to the home service and that, so I'm all right. Yes,
Excellent.
please continue.
Oh, Geraldine was just going to respond to Councillor Galloway. So go ahead, Geraldine.
Thank you. In terms of school improvement, we have two separate arrangements really. So in terms of secondary school improvement, we have something called the Bolton Learning Partnership. That's a partnership between us and all of our secondary schools. So we work together to provide school improvement, and lots of that is through school-to-school support, which is partly why this system is changing. So it's not so much commissioning or buying school improvement, and it's actually working together and actually facilitating schools where there's expertise in one school and another school is struggling to work together and share that expertise and good practice. And that's a national strategy really that we've been doing for quite a while. In terms of primary school improvement, schools opt in to buy a service level agreement. And again, in terms of that, it's extremely popular. So the majority of our local authority primary schools do buy the service level agreement from us, and a number of our academies also buy the service level agreement from us. So that's delivered by our own staff that are employed by the council. And then if and when we need additional capacity or additional expertise or resources, that's where we draw on the DPS to bring additional staffing into the system.
Okay, Councillor Galloway.
Thank you. Thank you, Geraldine. So is it competitively priced? You know, there'll be alternatives on the market. How is it priced?
Yeah, it's absolutely it's not the cheapest, I'll be completely honest. There are cheaper providers out there that you can go to, but we've priced it competitively to actually deliver the service that we think our schools need in terms of providing them with the right school improvement support, but also the expertise and the staff. And I think it's a difficult one because as a local authority, we have statutory responsibilities. So as much as the SLA provides school with a set number of visits in terms of a school improvement partner, also performance management for their head teacher, advice to governing bodies, recruitment for senior leaders like heads and deputies. What we can't cost in there is how much support a school will need across a year, and that will sometimes depend on what's happening in that school, whether there's a new head teacher, whether they've had a recent Ofsted inspection, all sorts of things that can affect that. So obviously, if and when those things happen, we absolutely always respond and support our schools with everything that they need across that system. So that can sometimes mean that schools will receive more support than others, but all of our schools are aware of that. So it is competitively priced, but it isn't the cheapest, I will be completely honest, and schools can go elsewhere if they want to, and obviously some schools do choose to do that.
Thank you, Geraldine.
Yeah, thanks for that, Geraldine. Anyone else, any further comments or questions? Very well, then I note the recommendations in the report and approve them as laid out on the preamble on recommendations. And I think that concludes our business for this morning.
It does, yeah. Thank you very
lovely.
much.
It's lovely to see you all, and I hope you have a nice rest of the day, and stay warm and dry out of that wind and rain. Okay, everyone.
Okay,
cheers now.
thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.